on the legal back and forth that he's having right now with Universal Music Group. So yesterday, a Judge Jeanette Vargas in New York, denied Universal Music Group's request to stay discovery. So Universal Music Group was saying, yo, can you pause on this whole discovery, letting us let Drake and team get into our business until we explore the motion to dismiss this whole thing that they have asked. They want it thrown out. They say it's BS. He's just mad because he lost a rap battle. Right. A judge said, well, we're still gonna, that motion to dismiss, it's still gonna happen, and they set a date for that. But no, I think that the discovery thing can happen and should happen. So I'm not going to say that we're going to stop it. This is a big deal.
What that mean now, though?
That means that Drake and team can go in and do what they've been saying that they wanted to do for a very long time. They can go in, they can look at contracts, including things that are in relation to Kendrick Lamar, emails, phone conversations, basically just come in and get all in the business of communications and processes and operations and all of that stuff.
I seen that yesterday.
For UMG.
So they were able to get Kendrick's contract to UMG, his signing contract and his deals and all that? That sounds crazy.
Well, they haven't done it yet. They just got the go-ahead to be able to move forward. And I don't know specifically which contracts they're asking for, but I think that I don't know why would they need a signing contract.
What are they going to discover that they don't already know, though? That the machine puts a little extra oomph behind records that are already moving, just like I'm sure they're doing with Nokia right now.
Yeah. Well,
it's the truth, though. What are they going to find out?
I think what they trying to go in and find out is like any wrongdoing of the machine making oomph and all that stuff.
That wrong. If it's wrongdoing, then it's typical record industry practices that have been going on since the beginning of time. That people like Drake have benefited from. That people like Kendrick have benefited from. That all of their artists benefit from.
But what if it's not? What if it's none? That's going to make you look crazy.
Yeah, we talked about.
Ain't even no foul play, nothing going on.
It's like a baseball player looking for steroids, and you're like, oh, it's the same stuff I've been using. whether you know you was using it or not.
Yeah. No, but to Jess's point, we talked about this on the podcast yesterday, the latest with Lauren LaRosa. I said that if there's nothing found, he just looks like a crybaby. It just looks like, you know what I mean? But if there is things found, and it can be something small, like it could be one employee that happened to maybe send a Uber or send a gift or something that can look
Uber.
I mean, because you have certain rules.
Think Kendrick Lamar getting an Uber?
No, I just mean like there's certain rules. A big one, not the little. There's certain rules around like bribery, and I'm sure I don't know all the rules when it comes to radio, but I know like.
But that's not going to be in the contract, and the sad thing about it is
it's not going to be in the contract.
But it's not just contracts, though.
You're stupid.
It's not just contracts.
But if you look at a judge, does the judge know exactly about the music industry to see what he's giving permission for? Like giving up Kendrick's contract, and I don't know what's in Kendrick's contract, but giving up how much money he's making and the money that's spent, that's nobody's business but Kendrick and his label. Like, why would that want to go to somebody else?
But that's only one part of it, and I think once we see which contracts they pull and which information they focus on, we can kind of better understand why they did that. Another part of it was, remember they talked about the bots or whatever that they said they alleged that Kendrick was Drake.
The same bots that have been used for all artists. All Drake is going to expose his secrets that have helped him too. And I don't even know if they're secrets, to be honest with you. Are they secrets? Or is that just standard record business practices at this point?
I thought it was standard record business practices.
All of this stuff, the bots, the everything that we talking about.
The bots don't matter no more because Drake's team yesterday in the court said that they've exchanged some, letters back and forth, and they're withdrawing those claims. They're
going to get canceled. I don't want Drake to get canceled. I want this nigga to go on and keep winning and making smashes for the world. But he's not playing the music game. He's playing the culture game. And what is my name? Ray Daniels, a.k.a. what?
Culture referee.
Okay, I'm only speaking on cultural moves. Now, I don't speak on music moves he's making because musically he's great, but culture he probably doesn't understand because he's not from here. So it's like if I come to Safety Harbor, they might treat me different than they treat me in the Bronx.
Gotcha.
They might have different rules, So it's like you just got to learn the nuances of the communities and people that you're part. And what I would have told Drake is he has home court advantage. Number one. Number two, you can't divide the pie. Whew. Here's what I mean by that. I'm friends with a lot of people. If two people I'm friends with have a problem, then my job is to remain neutral. Don't divide the pie, because now you're making people choose his side or my side. So what Drake also did was, instead of saying, so here's a prime example, what Drake did when the basketball player was in the video, Rose, he could have just been like, yo, shout out to DeRozan. He's from Compton. He just represents his people. That's all he was doing. DeRozan wasn't trying to disrespect you. You still his man, but this nigga's from my block, bro. I got to show up for him. The same way SGA showed up in the Drake video. He's a Canadian. It's like, so you're making people pick sides because you're angry at LeBron for listening. You're angry at, you see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Drake divided the pie, y'all. Listen, when Biggie and Pac was beefing, it was an East Coast versus West Coast thing. Your alliance was where you lived in the country. Am I right, Jordy? If you were a kid, you was from the East Coast, you was with fucking Big. If you was from the West Coast, the pie was divided already. That's why it was so prolific when they call it the East versus West Coast beef war, because then it became sides, right? Drake divided the pie when he basically said whoever is enjoying Kendrick is against me. Yeah. He shouldn't have. That's a bad move, because now you drew a line in the sand that nobody even saw. They were just having fun. Nobody even knew that it was serious. It wasn't like you got to understand something. The Drake Kendrick beef wasn't like the Big and Puff beef. Yeah. The Drake and Kendrick thing was a battle.
Drake and Kendrick Lamar's beef came to a head around 2013 when tensions started rising between the two hip-hop heavyweights. While they hadn't had direct conflicts in the past, things escalated when Kendrick dropped his iconic verse on Big Sean's track Control, where he called out various rappers by name, including Drake. This got Drake's attention, and while he didn't directly respond right away, it stirred the pot. In 2015, Kendrick released The Blacker the Berry, a track where he seemed to throw shots at Drake, particularly calling out the lack of authenticity he saw in some of the industry's big names. Kendrick's line, "I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2015, was taken by many as a direct jab at Drake, especially given Drake's struggles with authenticity in his own lyrics. But the real moment that caught everyone's attention came with Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us. The track was a clear shot at Drake's lyrical abilities and his perceived lack of substance. Kendrick came for Drake's authenticity, accusing him of being more about the image than the real story behind his music. Not Like Us became the final blow in the back and forth, as Kendrick's complex wordplay and brutal honesty on the track made it clear that he was ahead in the battle. While Drake has never fully addressed Kendrick's diss in public, Kendrick's superior lyricism and the impactful nature of Not Like Us solidified his victory in this brief but intense beef. Fans and critics alike acknowledged that Kendrick had the edge, leaving Drake to focus on his own style and branding moving forward.